Radio stations across the country today will play an 18-minute ballad that's become an unofficial Thanksgiving anthem. Folk singer Arlo Guthrie wrote Alice's Restaurant in the 1960s. It's become a favorite for the holiday. And in what's become a Thanksgiving tradition here, we revisit what Guthrie told Mo Rocca in 2012 about the inspiration for this song.
Alice had a restaurant, but it has no part in the song.
Well, she and her husband were teachers at a high school up the road here, and they bought this building around 1963. And we would sneak out of the school and come here and do what you did in the 60s.
Hell no, we won't go!
The year was 1965, and in a country deeply divided over the Vietnam War and the draft, an 18-year-old Arlo Guthrie was planning on becoming a forest ranger.
Yeah, sitting on a mountain in the middle of nowhere in Montana, waiting for a fire every few years. Sounds like a very good life to me.
This land was made for you and me.
But the son of legendary folk singer Woody Guthrie found himself on a far different path after his friend Alice invited him to her home, a converted church just outside of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, for Thanksgiving dinner. Arlo and a friend offered to help Alice clean up the space before guests arrived.
All of the construction material was out here on the main floor, and all the little pieces and stuff like that we had to get rid of. We had to throw it out, and in order to make it look nice, we put it in a red VW microbus and drove off into the sunset, as it were.
But the Stockbridge town dump was closed.
With tears in our eyes, we drove off looking for another place to put the garbage.
Arlo and his friend were charged with dumping Alice's trash on private property. After a thorough investigation by Officer Obie and a night in jail, they were fined $25 by a blind town judge. If it all sounds like a joke, well, that's just the setup. The next year, when Arlo reported to the draft office, he was put through his paces and rejected as morally unfit to serve. After all, he was a convicted litter bug.
And at the end of the day, the colonel there, whose name I forgot now, says to me, "I don't think you're the kind of person we want in the military." And I thought he was kidding me.
Have you ever been arrested?
Arlo completed the song Alice's Restaurant the following Thanksgiving, an 18-minute opus that became a fixture of the era.
Alice's Restaurant was not an anti-war song, it was an anti-stupid song, because you can't run a country like that.
First, here's a clip.
Radio host John Schaefer calls the song a comedy of errors.
He was the guy who made a joke out of protest singing. I mean, Alice's Restaurant is an 18-and-a-half-minute punchline.
I said, Obie, I don't see how I can pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on.
What's funny is this idiocy. That's what's funny. I didn't make up getting out of the military because I was a litter bug. They did.
We got in the back of the patrol car and drove to the, quote, scene of the crime, unquote.
So how does an anti-stupidity song become a Thanksgiving tradition?
I'll let you know a little dirty little secret. Radio DJs love long songs, especially if you're working a shift on a holiday. And an 18-minute song, man, that was time to take a nap, get a smoke, have a snack. I mean, or all of the above.
Here we go.
From Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon, of the 100-plus radio stations we reached out to, over half said they planned to play the song at least once, some as many as 4 times.
We've been playing Alice's Restaurant at high noon for almost 20 years.
We play the original vinyl from 1967.
We're serving it up twice because one serving's not enough.
The church has been converted once again, this time into the Guthrie Center, a non-denominational space dedicated to fellowship, music, and giving thanks.
Every year at Thanksgiving, we invite whoever wants to come for a free Thanksgiving dinner. You don't have to believe anything. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be hungry.
For CBS This Morning, Mo Rocca, Stockbridge, Massachusetts.
It's not just the movie. It's not just the song. People watch the movie.
In this day and age, how often do you have a chance to just sit back for 18 straight minutes?
18 minutes.
Can you imagine that?
Pay attention to something.
Great song, great movie. He's in it. Pete Seeger's in it.
And I like it. Just show up if you're hungry. I'm good with that.
You're good with that.
Sign up.